Minglaba and welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Our reporter Loom is going to bring us the first report on Hluttaw discussing national education policy reform. Pietain has a report on SSB-Care Well clinic, which opens in East Dagon. Agaja with a report on JMC, which stresses CSO's role in ceasefire effort. Last but not least, a report on artistic flavors from Myanmar literature to Mahagita. Before we get to the reports, we've got some local news. According to the press release of the U.S. Embassy in Myanmar on Monday, the embassy announced another step to make travel easier between Myanmar and the United States. Myanmar citizens can now apply for a combined B1 or B2 visa, which allows travel to the U.S. for both business and/or tourism purposes. The single-entry visa is valid for 3 months and there is no issuance fee. It also stated that travel between the United States and Myanmar has increased greatly in recent years. The United States consistently ranks among the top 5 of foreign countries traveling to Myanmar. The U.S. Embassy works with the Myanmar government to facilitate travel between the two countries. The new combined visa encourages closer ties between Myanmar and the United States. Representatives from around 300 local and international companies discussed about tax administration law and the new union tax law at a seminar hosted by VDP Loy in Yangon on Tuesday. The seminar also focused on preparing for the upcoming new one to understand tax-paying procedures and penalties for non-compliance, interest on underpaid or unpaid taxes to people. The change of income year and its impact on the profits for companies with an investment license from Myanmar Investment Commission were one of the issues discussed at the event. The recent reforms of the Internal Revenue Department in Myanmar and the enactment of the tax administration law are major steps towards modernizing the tax system in Myanmar. 2 Taiwanese men and 1 Myanmar national were arrested by local police with 74 kilos of ice, a type of drug, in South Hluttaw Township last Friday. Under an information exchange program, the Australia Federal Police informed the Myanmar Police Force that a Taiwanese man, namely Chen In-chow, who is under suspicion of having connections with international drug gangs, was in Myanmar and he was planning to send drugs to Australia secretly. Acting on the information, the police investigated the case and found that the Taiwanese man arrived in Yangon by flight on July 30th from Hong Kong. He rented a house in South Hluttaw Township. The police conducted a surprise check at the house on 9th of August and arrested him together with another Taiwanese national and a Myanmar interpreter. During the search, the police discovered 74 kilos of ice worth 5 billion kyats, 5 mobile phones, and 31 crankshafts. They confessed during the interrogation that the crankshafts were brought from Taiwan by DHL service. And that's all with the local news. Let's take a look at the first report now. Myanmar has been putting efforts in the education reform process since 2014. In 2016, National Education Policy Commission was formed to provide policies and education for the promotion of national development. Regarding its progress, Hluttaw representatives discussed the report findings of National Education Policy Commission at the second Hluttaw 13th regular session, 11th day. Loom gives us the details.
The second time Hluttaw 13th regular session 11th day took place in Naypyidaw on August 13, 2019.
ဒုတိယကြိမ်ပြည်ထောင်စုလွှတ်တော်73ကြိမ်မြောက်ပုံမှန်အစည်းအဝေးရဲ့17ရက်မြောက်နေ့အစီအစဉ်စတင်ပါတော့မယ်
Following this session, Hluttaw discussed the report of National Education Policy Commission that was conducted from 10 October 2018 to 9 April 2019. Ujomyu, Mandalay Region Constituency 10, talk about the background history of national education policy reform.
I'm really delighted that the National Education Policy Reform Commission is working hard for the educational reform in Myanmar. I'm happy that the budget for education has increased to 50% in 2019 compared to the year of 2014's budget. We welcome the education reform strategy for 2016 through 2021, despite the challenges. This project will implement a new curriculum for the students, which will boost students' creativity, which will teach students to become well rounded persons, and the students will learn how to take care of the environments and the earth, and they will become as citizens who can contribute to the country. As you all know, our country has left behind due to the weak and poor proper education. So, as a result, we could not think critically and reasonably. So, the habit of differentiating what is right and what is wrong is getting weaker.
တက်ပဲအမှားမှန်ခွဲခြားတတ်တဲ့အလေးကျင့်အားနည်းလာပါတယ်ကြောက်စိတ်ကြီးမားလာတယ်
Myanmar has been doing the educational reform process. The significant reform process started in 2016. In 2016, the educational reform for kindergarten was conducted. In 2017, Grade 1 educational reform was conducted, and in 2018, Grade 2 educational reform was conducted. In 2019, educational reform for Grade 3 and Grade 6 was carried out. In the report conducted by Myanmar Education Policy Commission mentioned that there is a problem that less students in some schools and more students in some schools, but there is a shortage of teachers in most of the schools. With response to it, U Myanwin Twante constituency discussed that the corruption cases should be carefully tackled to overcome the problem.
ကျွန်တော်အတွေ့အကြုံတစ်ခုအရကျွန်တော်1989ခုနှစ်ကဇလွန်မြို့နယ်ကတွဲဘက်ထက်တန်းကျောင်းတစ်ခုမှာကျောင်းဆရာသားလုပ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ကျောင်း
With my own experience, I went to Zolon and I worked as a teacher for the high school in 1987. A group of students from there had to walk for about 6 miles to go to school and had to walk for about 6 miles back to home. At the same year, they all failed matriculation exam. But nowadays, that kind of cases is getting less, especially starting from 2010. The educational budget has increased and there are fewer cases, so we have to utilize the budget in an effective way without any corruption so that we can achieve our goal.
U Jomyin suggested that when we're doing the report, instead of going to the schools randomly, we have to go to all the states and regions and do the in-depth survey for the report.
အကြံပြုလိုကတော့အခြေခံပ
As
ညာ
a suggestion, when we go to the basic education schools for report, we should not go to the schools randomly. Instead, we have to select either one state or region and then go to all the schools from selected states and regions in order to produce the quality report to be of good use for national education policy reform.
အမလည်းသေးပါဘူး
U Jomyin further said the policy for KG plus 12 should be mentioned clearer in the report, and a basic budget for the educational reform should be given to all the states and regions to some extent rather than in the Pitangsu level. The National Education Policy Commission is an important body established by the National Education Law 2014 and the National Education Law Amendment 2015 to provide policies and education for the promotion of national development.
That's a report on Hluttaw discussing national education policy reform. We're going to take a look at the weather conditions now in Myanmar. In Yangon, there's going to be a thunderstorm in spots in the morning, then a couple of thunderstorms around during the day. However, there'll be considerable clouds at night. The daily outlook is around 31 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 37 degrees Celsius. There's a 62% chance of rain for the day. In Naypyidaw, there's going to be considerable cloudiness, a couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon. There'll be a shower or thunderstorm in the evening, otherwise low clouds at night. The daily outlook is around 30 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 36 degrees Celsius, 67% chance of rain for the day. In Mandalay, it'll be dull and dreary, a thunderstorm in the afternoon. However, there will probably be a shower or thunderstorm in the area in the evening. Otherwise, considerable cloudiness at night. The daily outlook is around 32 degrees Celsius high, but it's going to feel like 38 degrees Celsius, 51% chance of rain for the day. Stay with us as Bethane brings us the second report, and we'll take a look at the stocks and currency exchange rates right after that. To provide better and easy healthcare services for industrial zone workers, SSB-Care Well clinic was launched with a ceremony in East Dagon on Saturday. The ceremony was attended by the Union Minister of Labour, Immigration and Population, Hluttaw Sui, Yangon Region Minister for Immigration and Human Resources, Don Momo Suchi, and Care Well Medical Company's representatives. Bethane brings us the detailed report.
SSB-Care Well clinic opens in East Dagon Mildid. The fifth outpatient general clinic managed by Social Security Board, or SSB, and Care Well Medical Company Limited was launched in Dagon Mildid East in Yangon region with an official ceremony on 10 of August 2019. The event was attended by Union Minister of Labour, Immigration and Population, Hluttaw Sui. Social Security Board reached the agreement with private medical company Care Well to open the next clinic at the Dagon Mildid Industrial Zone, with the aim of providing better and easy healthcare services for factory workers. As regard to the healthcare program planning, Minister of Labour, Immigration and Population Hluttaw Sui said,
There are now 5 general clinics run by SSB and Care Well, including this one. According to feedback from employer-employee community, we've learned that employees are satisfied with such healthcare services. There have been even requests from other townships to launch such clinics in their factory zones. From our side, we will continue to open more clinics during the years to come. Especially, employees are very satisfied with the response and treatment in case of emergency. In the past, when they got minor or serious injuries at the workplace, they used to come a long way to hospitals. But now, it becomes very easy to receive first emergency cares. And if necessary, the patients are lifted to hospitals in transfer process. So, now they become easily accessible to health services. And in terms of services, we have also plans to extend from pregnancy tests to labor services for female workers. So the Society Security Board, which is carrying out social welfare programs, has established 3 workers' hospitals, 78 SSB offices, 96 township SSB clinics, 5 Care Well clinics, 1 traditional clinic in 116 townships for 1.36 million insured workers. So under the test run of the Provider Purchase Split PPS system, there are 7 clinics and 2 vehicles with medical service facilities.
Now let's hear from Dr. Muyang Yun, Managing Director of Care Well Medical Company.
This is the 5th SSB-Care Well clinic here in Dagon Mildid East. We initiated Social Security Clinic project since 2015, launching the first clinic in Hluttaw and later Minglado, Shuipita and Sri Lankan industrial zones. We got inspiration from the model of Social Security Board, helping hands together. Basically, most workers in industrial zones are of working class with lots of basic needs. Our great intention is to provide them with better healthcare services under SSB guidelines and policies. This way, we bring along with this clinic.
And now let's hear from Nyinyi, Yangon Region Hluttaw representative, who is also from South Dagon constituency.
We welcome SSB-Care Well clinics, and we are also working to open such clinic in our township very soon. We see in some places it's somehow difficult to give medical assistance to workers accidentally getting hurt in their workplaces. SSB-Care Well clinics are very good at treating in the cases like needle sticking in the palm. Here, I like to highlight the very important purpose of this program. SSB-Care Well clinics are not only for social security, welfare, entitled workers, but also for public. The healthcare system is very effective.
The clinic official opening ceremony was attended by Union Minister of Labour, Immigration and Population U Teng Sui, Yangon Region Minister for Immigration and Human Resources Dr. Momo Suji, East Dagon Industrial Zone Management Committee Chairman, employer and employee representatives, Care Well Medical Company representatives, all attended the ceremony.
That's a report on SSB-Care Well Clinic that's now open in East Dagon. Let's take a look at the currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,510 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 213 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,690 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,823 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,088 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 360 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 49 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,501. Silver is at $16, and Brent crude oil is at $56. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI dropped 500 at 11,500. MTSH went up 50 at 3,600. MCB remains at 8,400. FPP also remains at 26,000. TMH dropped 50 at 3,000. You're still with us on MI Radio's Myanmar Today. And I'd like to take this opportunity by saying we, MI Radio family, send our condolences and prayers and well wishes to the victims of flood-hit regions in Myanmar. Our prayers and thoughts are with you. And also to lend a helping hand, we will be making cash donations to the flood victims. And as usual, you can visit our website at miradio.com.mm and listen to our radio programs live on the website. If you're on FM, catch us on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. You can also download MI Radio app on both iOS and Android devices so you can listen to our radio programs from anywhere in the world. All right, let's move on to the next report. 7th meeting between CSOs who were involved in different levels of the Joint Monitoring Committees took place in Yangon on Tuesday. CSO representatives from across the country joined the meeting held at National Reconciliation and Peace Center. Agajo tells us more.
7th meeting between CSOs who involved in different levels of the Joint Monitoring Committees took place in Yangon on Tuesday. CSO representatives from across the country joined the meeting held at the National Reconciliation and Peace Center, NRPC. The meeting discussed reports on JMC-related works and the future plan. The JMC and representatives discussed the strong points, weak points, and suggestions concerning the ceasefire efforts carried out. Ukugoji, Vice Chairperson 2 of JMC Union, said JMC stressed the importance of CSO's role in ceasefire effort.
As the ceasefire meetings have been suspended, we cannot conduct the meeting of the entire JMC yet. So the CSOs plays a vital role for the time being. The CSO would reach out to the ethnic armed organizations EAOF to conduct mediation in a personal manner. This is the effort by the CSOs for the ceasefire effort to help JMC operate regularly. And in a time of suspension, CSOs engage with EAO to maintain the relation.
At first, CSOs were not included in signing the National Ceasefire Agreement. It was only between the government, Hluttaw, Damado, and the ethnic armed organizations. Later, there developed a concept which stresses the participation of CSOs in the ceasefire effort. Over time, this makes the role of JMC more important.
Also in the future, we have planned to form a local civilian monitor. Despite the plans, we are on the hold as the NCA is on the suspension. So if the role of the CSOs become better represented on the ground, the effort will be more effective.
The nationwide ceasefire agreement (NCA) signed on October 15, 2015 by the Union of Myanmar government and 8 ethnic armed organizations created 2 major joint bodies. The first one is the Joint Ceasefire Monitoring Committee (JMC), and the second one the Union Peace Dialogue Joint Committee (UPJDC). The GMC includes union, state, and local levels to implement ceasefire monitoring at different levels. The GMCU was formed on 18 November 2015 with 10 representatives from government, 10 from the 8 signatory ethnic armed organizations, and 6 civilians. He continued to comment that awareness on the GMC needs to be raised.
We need to raise awareness on the work of JMC. Even some of the department officials don't know exactly what JMC is doing. So we are raising awareness amongst the general administration and police and other relevant associations. As the role of CBOs and CSOs has increasingly important, we are raising awareness on the nature of JMC for better understanding. We also invite students and teachers. The work of JMC is engaging in the levels of the committees as well as the guidelines for the systematic implementation. We are accelerating the effort for these measures during the suspension.
10 ethnic armed groups have signed the NCA so far. 8 signed it on October 15, 2015, while 2, the New Mon State Party and the Hluttaw Democratic Union, signed it on February 13, 2018. The signatories to the NCA include Chin National Front, CNF, ABSDF, ALP, the Restoration Council of Shan State, RCSS, the Kayin National Union, KNU, and KNLAPC, the DKBA, the Pa'o National Liberation Organization, PNLO, the New Mon State Party, and the Hluttaw Democratic Union. The Nationwide Ceasefire Agreement (NCA) was a landmark ceasefire agreement between the government of Myanmar and representatives of various ethnic armed organizations by the government. The draft was agreed upon by a majority of the invited parties on 31 March 2015, and the agreement was signed on 15 October 2015. The signing was witnessed by observers and delegates from the United Nations, the United Kingdom, Norway, Japan, and the United States. A ceremony is held by the government annually on the anniversary of the signing of the agreement. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
There's a report on JMC which stresses CSO's role in ceasefire effort. Well, finally, David Tanner brings us the last report. With a mindset to highlight the artistic flavors from Myanmar literature to Mahagita, which is the Myanmar traditional music, the preaching, teaching and performances of Mahagita event was held at Arts Hall of Yangon University. The event, led by Sayama Doshwe Kunan Nunwe, which was supported by Myanmar Literature Language Department of Yangon University as a pre-100-year-old memorial of the university. David Tanner shares with us the details of the event.
In Myanmar, music segments are combined into patterns and then into verses, making it a multi-level hierarchical system. Various levels are manipulated to create a song. Harmony in Mahagita, the Myanmar body of music, is known as Tuelo, which is similar to a chord in Western music. For example, C is combined with F or G. With that being said, let's hear out from one of the living legends in Mahagita, a professional composer, Sayama Doshwe Kunan, for her insight about this event.
My name is Shwe Gunan Nunwe. Shwegu is the place where I was born. Nan means that I am from one of the ethnic groups of Myanmar, which is Shan Ni. My real name is Nunwe, which altogether makes my artist name as Shwe Gunan Nunwe. The purpose of today's event, held at Arts Hall, is that as Yangon University will be 100 years old very soon, Plus, with the invitation from the Myanmar Language Department, I have prepared to highlight the Myanmar's traditional music in Myanmar languages and courses that we have taught in our schools and universities. I will be preaching about the perks of how Myanmar traditional music works and how it is so special for us and everyone in Myanmar to know or at least experience it through not only preaching from me, but also through performances from students of National University of Arts and Culture, State High School, accompanied by Myanmar traditional music instruments, which are che, cho, thaye, lei, and likot.
Let's also hear about how Myanmar language has been an impact on Myanmar traditional music, as well as the classic arts and crafts of Myanmar. Let's find out.
All the music from the past has been documented just by Myanmar language, not with English. Well, of course, not with Pali language, nor other languages, just with Myanmar language. So when we learn music and other artworks, we have learned with the Myanmar language. We also can't learn with Pali language because it's too difficult. That is why we are always grateful about Myanmar language and how it helps us in doing arts and learning arts and music. That's why also we held this event to show how thankful we are for the mother tongue we have learned.
Let's hear out for the things that she wants to remind to the youths.
Our country is Myanmar. That is why Myanmar language should be the first priority for all of the people who live in this country. Also for students who are now in the Myanmar language department, they should also love what they are learning, and I also wish and hope that they might get a lot of knowledge not only in the form of literature, but also in the way of how it interconnects with arts and how it is very important for the country. Lastly, I wish the students might get a mindset of thankfulness for how the Yangon University and Myanmar Language Department has played a role in their lives and how they should get back to the country in a way that they can.
I have also interviewed some of the students who have performed in the event as well.
I am so grateful to be part of this kind of event because only this kind of event can maintain the traditional music of Myanmar to not fade away. So we have been chosen because there was a competition in which was held at National University of Arts and Culture, and our group won the first place with Myanmar traditional music name Tinga Shriyang. We'll be performing this sound in this event as a group, and both of us will be singing while other members plays the instruments.
So me and all my friends are very grateful to represent at National University of Arts and Culture students and perform here. And also, as she said, this may be one of the memorable moments of my life in which we can be part of taking care of our Myanmar traditional music in a way that we can.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. Now let's take a look around on the international landscape. Chinese search engine Sogou is creating artificial intelligence lookalikes to read popular novels in authors' voices. It announced lifelike avatars of Chinese authors Yue Guan and Bu Xingqian Shangdiao Xianbing, created from video recordings at the China Online Literature Plus conference. Last year, Sogou launched 2 AI news readers which are still used by the government's Xinhua news agency. Appetite for audiobooks in China is on the rise, mirroring trends in the West. Now, I know I'm not an expert in childbirth, but this other news, it's interesting because women in labor are being given virtual reality headsets to see if they can help manage the pain of childbirth. University Hospital of Wales in Cardiff is carrying out a trial and it could be rolled out across Wales if successful. Midwife Suzanne Hluttaw said the technology offered an alternative for pain management. Mother-to-be Hannah Laley, who tested the kit ahead of the birth of her first baby this month, likened it to a simulator. The health board will arrange a feedback session in future to gauge the response of the first raft of new mums to trial the headsets. Well, it's true technology is the solution to many problems these days, but this is a whole new level. And that's a wrap on Myanmar Today. You can now watch the program on MITV every evening, Monday to Friday at 8:30. You can also join me on MI Radio from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 to 1:30 p.m. and from 7:30 to 8 in the evening. Don't forget to drop your comments and messages on our Facebook posts. We'll be back with more news and reports. Thank you for joining us. I am Henry Zin. Have a great day, everyone.